Hey there, beautiful people, and welcome back to All Things Love. I am Miss Sharon here, aka Brown Eyes. So, in keeping with all things love, I remember when I was younger. It's kind of like a story time, but it's so funny how things that you did not know when you were younger, you get it when you are an older person, especially in the dating field. I remember how I was so naive, how I thought that if I tried to work with a guy by doing things for him financially, which I wasn't in a financial position to be helping nobody because I had children. But it's almost like every once in a while, I would get a good catch, but sometimes I would be attracting men that want to use me, take advantage of me. And it's like you be thinking that you're gonna work with this person, but only thing they're looking for somebody to is just to use and to control. So it's almost like a woman cannot help a man, she cannot build a man unless he's already building himself. Um, a lot of times as ladies, we do way too much more trying to prove who we are to these men when that's not what we should be doing after all, because you could come off as so qualified and so overachieved that instead of them looking at you as a gift or an asset or a blessing, they're looking at you as a threat, a competition. And their ego may have them thinking that they can get over on you. But I remember this one guy that I was dating, and I think I met him at this place where I was working, and he used to come in all the time. But it's just crazy here because if I wasn't really spiritually aware back then, I was kind of vulnerable and emotionally damaged, so I didn't know. But in hindsight, I can understand where I missed it, because the window to the soul is through the eyes. You can see in a person's eyes what they represent. And I saw some cold energy in his eyes, but I didn't pay attention to the red flags of this connection here. So I remember one night I stopped by his house, and I guess I left from the club and I stopped by his house, and so it was that morning. And so he was like, "Ooh, we started talking about breakfast and stuff." He said, "Yeah, let's go out to eat." And so we went out to eat. We went to the Waffle House, y'all. When it came time to pay the bill, he didn't have no money. He expected for me to pay without blinking, and I was like, "What?" Luckily, I had enough money, but that was red flag number one, And like you be wanting a relationship so bad that you be ignoring the red flags, because there's no way I should have been doing that. But I realized I was kicking it with him. He was laying on the mat. He was laying on the floor. He claimed he had just moved into place. And I'm thinking, I'm finna build my man. I'm finna build, we finna come up together. And so I think I offered to buy him some food, y'all. Yep, I was like in my 20s, all right? And I offered to buy him some food, because I was spending a lot of time with him and stuff. And so I was getting EBT, I was getting food stamps. And so he asked me, could he purchase cleaning supplies? I think he already knew, but he probably thought I was going to volunteer. He was like, "Well, can you buy cleaning supplies with this?" And good and goddamn well, you can't do that. And so I didn't offer, because I'm like, no, but it pissed me off. It pissed me off that you're going to ask, or you want me to buy every freaking thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I stopped doing things for him, and I was trying to distance myself from him, because I realized the more that I did, the more he was actually starting to just freaking ask me to do it. That connection went totally left, and he was starting to get very, very aggressive, very demanding. And so I realized that I was dealing with somebody here who would totally manipulate me, and this would be the type of person that's probably whipping my tail and taking my check, and I saw it, y'all. I know I wasn't wrong. And so I started talking to this other guy, and I knew that I had to disconnect from this crazy guy, but I knew he knew where I lived and he knew where I worked. So this one evening, this new guy was over my house, and we were in the front room talking, and I know his vehicle was parked in my driveway, and this guy comes over, because he'd been trying to call me, and I just been ignoring him. I wasn't saying shit, because I didn't have nothing else to buy. I didn't want to buy shit else. I didn't want to screw. I didn't want to talk to you. I was over him. But he needed a dummy. And so that dude beat on my door. He beat on my door. He went to the bedroom. We were sitting in the front room, and I was scared. I was trying to act normal, but see, the guy was so cool. I had already told him about this person. He was like, is that him? I was like, yeah. And when that dude just kept beating on my door, y'all, I was so embarrassed and I was so scared. He goes from the bedroom to the door. And he said, I'm finna go out there. I said, no. Whatever you do, don't go out there. He crazy. He said, yeah, but he don't know me either. And I begged him, please don't go out there. He was like, look, I'm going to have a talk with him. He said, I guarantee you I'm going to know where that dude stay. He said, you ain't going to have to worry about him no more. So the guy knew that I had company, so he came up to my job. I already knew he was, but that was my job. I needed my job. I knew I was going to have to face this guy. I was hoping he didn't put his hands on me because I got the impression that he liked to fight women. And I knew that he was ready to fight me because he knew that he was losing control. And I knew that I was going to have to defend myself against this person. So he came up to the job, and I was in customer service, so imagine him really cussing me out. I'm talking about this person just stood in line and just totally annihilated my character, degraded me, and he called me everything, and I didn't do nothing wrong, y'all. I just didn't want him to use me because I knew he was a user, and he finally cussed me out till they had to run him out, and he left. And the new guy, the next time I seen him and he came over my house, he told me, he described where that guy lived at. He had went to the guy's house, and he was sitting out there, you know, scoping his house out, and the guy didn't even know it. But I think the guy really did know, because I'm sure if he remembered that same vehicle, I'm sure, because the guy, my other friend said, yeah, I wanted him to see me. He said, I was just sitting out there in front of his place, and I was just, you know, just sitting there. And he said the guy kept coming in and out the house, looking in the direction, but he would never say nothing. So I know he knew that there was the vehicle. And y'all, I never had a problem out that guy again. I'm talking about, I found, I was so naive. I thought that I could love him. I thought if I bought his cleaning supplies and fed him and showed him that, you know, life is beautiful and things can get better, you know, even though I was a single parent with children, barely making things meet, you know what I'm saying? So in hindsight, I realized that the window to the soul is through your eyes. You can, if you listen to your intuition and you look at things logically, then you know you'll know it'll stop you from making those unnecessary choices or challenges or mistakes, so to speak. Because that dude was an evil person. He was evil. And I already know it wasn't going to end good for me, but that taught me something. You never, ever put yourself out there for no man, especially when they're a weak man, because they're going to take your kindness for weakness, because they really ain't about nothing anyway. All right, collective, that's my story. That's one of my testimonies, all things love. I had to love myself, because if I was really loving myself, I wouldn't have been attracted to a person here who didn't even want to pay for my food. I'm just saying that. I know you got some stories. Let me know in the comments below of the time you were dealing with some type of narcissist who was trying to take your kindness for weakness, and all you thought that you could do was just try to build something with somebody, but you were dealing with somebody here who was, all they wanted to do was hustle you and use you at any means necessary, even if it means they had to strong arm you and manipulate you. Because I already know what that, I'm talking about. This guy was coming up to my, I'm talking about, y'all, it just got so embarrassing. I knew it had to be done, but I prayed about it, and like I said, I met the right one. Sometimes the enemy of your enemy is your friend. But that dude ended up being just as crazy. But anyway, let me know in the comments below your most dangerous story that you know that your rejection ended up being your protection, and you've learned from your mistakes. Let me know. Thumbs up this video. Leave me commenting below. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you on the next one.